you guys? Welcome back to the Fumble Live. Thank you for tuning in today. You guys know we are talking about that Lakers versus Warriors game last night. Everything about that was so exciting to watch, highly competitive, very high stakes, and there were a couple standout moments that we have to get into. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic.
Now, Jackie, you got to show us the outfit because I think that the Fumble fam needs to see this LeBron fandom and how far you will go. So, can you
it's
show
a whole
us?
dress. Let me. I don't know how much you're gonna see, but it's a whole dress. You see, like it's a whole.
It's so good. It's so good. I love it. Now, you guys know Jackie has her LeBron wall behind her. You can't see it right now because of the backdrop, but she also has the LeBron, bobblehead or the toy, the stuffed toy. And
always by my side.
The LeBron gear too, the dress, the leggings, the shirts. I love it. It's so good. So this is true Bron sexuality right here, Jackie. I love that you embrace it.
I do.
All right, you guys, so let's jump in and talk about this Lakers versus Warriors game last night and some news because, so obviously it was a very, very exciting game. If you guys watched it in the chat, let us know. I'm sure all of you did because who would want to miss that? It was like definitely the most hyped up game that we've seen this season. But some people actually feel that flopping kind of swung the game last night. So let's discuss this a bit. So prior to making that game-winning shot, LeBron said that he was seeing 3 rims thanks to a finger in the eye by Draymond Green. You guys probably all saw that moment, but just in case you didn't, Leo, can you play that clip for us right now?
James running the floor. Pass to Caruso, back to James, and he's fouled. Draymond Green would not let him get a layup. And James goes down, holding his head.
Now, getting a finger in the eye definitely can create a big reaction among anybody. That would be really, really painful, especially because there's probably a lot of impact there, so I'm sure it did hurt. But people feel that LeBron was milking it. Even CJ McCollum tweeted saying actor of the year in regards to LeBron supposedly flopping. So that, of course, was an obvious foul, though. Like, there's no mistake about that. Whether LeBron was kind of milking that outcome or not, there would have been free throws for him anyway. So let's just discuss this first. Jackie, what do you think? Is flopping and kind of dramatizing these moments part of the game, or do you wish that athletes would stop doing that as much?
So on that's interesting because on that particular play, I said that was a flagrant foul. That's what I said. I was like, you that was a lot. That was a whole body. And if we call in a flagrant 2 on Bobby for him being just in the air and his body just moving randomly, then that damn sure should have been a flagrant. I don't understand how one's a flagrant that clearly was just a basketball move and this wasn't. So I definitely said this should have been a flagrant. And then as far as him flopping, y'all ain't never been poked in the eye. That hurts bad because I got poked in the eye one time playing volleyball. I've been poked in the eye more than once, but one time I was playing volleyball and I could not see. I couldn't see out of my right eye the rest of the game. I played, but I couldn't. I mean, everything from on this side was blurry. I just couldn't see. So I played it off because my team needed me. And so that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't doubt. I mean, if he was seeing 3, that's better than what I was seeing because I couldn't see nothing on my right. So congratulations that you could see something because I couldn't see anything. And when he went to the sideline, that lady had that big Costco bottle of Visine that she was pouring in both of his eyes. Clearly, he was in some pain. So if people have never been poked in the eye or if they want to hate LeBron for the sake of being a hater, Stay Mad does that really well. I feel like he's going to win Hater of the Year. Then that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. We won. And so there is an anti-flopping rule. If he had flopped, as y'all say, y'all know these refs be foul happy. They would have called something on him. But no, getting poked in the eye is not a fun time at all. So I thought it should have been a flagrant. The fact that it wasn't just lets me know that the refs were letting them play, which is cool. But I definitely thought it should have been a flagrant. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comparison that you brought up about Bobby is like a great one, because that one for sure was that was almost like you couldn't really control what would happen there, because he was already in the air, and you can't really you can't like hang on to anything or bump into anything that'll adjust your movements when you're already in the air. So if that was a flagrant, then this definitely could have been. Is there any part of you that think LeBron's reaction was that he was trying to dramatize it, or this was just his complete natural reaction to being poked in the eye? Like, do you think that there was a little element of that, theatrical bit?
I mean, again, I've been poked in the eye, so yeah. I am. It hurts. I don't know how else to say it. It hurts, and it's a weird. It's not even like. It's not a normal type of pain. It's a scary type of pain. It's a, oh my God, am I going to be able to see type of pain? It's a weird, it's not like a cringing, like when his ankle hurt, that when he was writhing in pain like that, that's an obvious, oh my God, something's wrong pain. But when you're poked, it's just a different kind of pain. So I believe that it hurt. And y'all saw the force that Draymond hit him in the eye. It wasn't like it was like a little baby tap. So, I mean, he needed a moment. Take a moment. You the king. Take a moment. If people want to call it him flopping, well, how was he supposed to handle it? That's what I want to know. When you get poked in the eye, how are you supposed to handle that? What's the protocol for getting poked in the eye, y'all, in the chat? Stay mad. What's the protocol? What's the protocol? Jeremiah, them. Let me tell you something. If your family is paying for them anger management classes, they can rob, because it's not working at all. Like at all. He said Draymond should have stomped him out. Y'all know how fast I would have been down to the Staples Center? We're not doing that over here. We're not doing that.
No. I mean, look, flopping is a part of the game. I don't think that LeBron was necessarily flopping in this situation. I think I likely would have had a very similar reaction if I had been poked in the eye by somebody with, the strength that Draymond has. We can't deny that as well. Like, these are big, strong, athletic guys. So it's not like if a baby pokes you in the eye. There are flopping.
Wait, that's not even, look, I've been poked in the eye by my friend's baby. That's probably worse, because it's like they're curious, it's not like an accidental thing. It's like, ooh, that's your eye. Ow, child. Like, no, that's way worse. That's way worse.
I know. I mean, either way, it sucks and it's bad. But there are flopping rules in place. So if the NBA did want to crack down on it, they absolutely could. I think that we can both agree that they don't necessarily enforce those rules that much. I think there was only one flopping fine handed out this season, only one, and we see it happen all the time. I think that flopping for a lot of players can be very effective, and I think that it does make the game kind of theatrical and exciting, and I do sort of feel like it's part of the game, and maybe you guys in the chat will hate me for saying that, but I don't know. I just think that it does kind of up the ante a little bit, and I don't mind that. Oh, and then really quickly, before we move on to just our general conversation about the play-in tournament, I want to hear your thoughts, Jackie, about Logo LeBron. That game-winning shot was absolutely insane. So what was your reaction to it?
I wish I would have had a video of me at the bar. I think I put it on my story that I was at the bar, and at halftime I was, worried's not even a word, because I had made a couple of predictions that we had to be up. We couldn't be down by more than 10 at the half. So when we were down by more than 10 at the half, I was panic stricken, like, for sure. But shouts out to my friends. They stayed with me the whole time. None of them really like basketball. And if you've never watched the game with me either, but I am a lot when I watch sports. So they hung in there. That was their first time hanging out with me in that setting. So they hung in there. But that moment in time was exactly what we needed. I saw somebody in the chat earlier say, hey, LeBron's not clutch. I'm assuming you didn't see the game. So this is just one of those moments that I absolutely love because it brings out the saltiness in everybody. Their sodium levels is really high. They probably need to see a doctor about it. They probably got high blood pressure because LeBron James went out there and did that damn thing, and y'all mad about it. And that just makes my whole day. Stay mad in there. He gonna have a stroke before he's 20, as much as he hate on LeBron. And I'm here for it. I love all the shade that he gets because it just shows how dope he is. You don't hate on people who aren't dope. And it just shows how dope he is. And y'all sodium levels is so high today. And I'm ear to ear, baby. Ear to ear.
Jackie, I love it. Yeah, that was a very exciting moment. And that definitely was, it was a game-changing moment. Like, that won the game for the Lakers, and very exciting, super fun to watch as a Lakers fan. So it's no question that last night's game was really, really entertaining. I mean, people were so hyped up about it. Watching Steph and LeBron face off against each other in something as, competitive and high stakes as the play-in tournament really made it for like a super fun viewing experience. And I know that the play-in tournament received a lot of criticism. Even LeBron himself said that the person who thought of doing it this season should be fired. I think that even he's enjoying it. I think that the athletes are kind of liking this sort of high pressure environment. The fans are loving it. So let's just talk about this as a general thing. Is the play-in a good idea? Is this something that we should keep doing, especially after seeing how great last night was?
I mean, I've been saying that. I've said that I'm not a fan of it per se. I do like the old way, but sometimes change is good. Sometimes a new format is great. And I think that especially when you're talking about that 9 and 10 spot, it gives teams a chance that wouldn't normally have a chance. And I think that's dope. The NFL has decided to add another team to the playoffs. So having more opportunities for fans to see their team potentially get into the playoffs is dope. It's an interesting kind of one and done thing. Kevin Pryor actually messaged me on Instagram last night. I don't know if he's in the chat today, but he said this is kind of like the NCAA. It feels like the NCAA where, that one and done situation. And it is very similar to that. And it had that type of feel. For the 7 and 8 spot, it's not as high pressure to me because, like I said before, I thought that the Warriors would lose today, but I also think that they'll win the next one. So it's not as high pressure because you do have another opportunity to win. That 9 and 10 spot, it's literally one and done. If you lose, then you're done. You're out of it, permanently. So I think, just the reaction from fans, this is a very high stress situation, because you're trying to earn your playoff spot. It's literally everything you did in the regular season does not matter. This one game matters on whether or not you'll get into the playoffs. So the intensity of it, I think, is really good. I do believe the NBA will keep it because of the draw. I mean, and we all know that the NBA needs that viewership. They need people talking about this. They need fans sitting in front of their TV. So for advertising dollars, I think it makes sense to do this going forward because I would love to, and y'all know I usually do my research, but I did not look it up. I would love to see the numbers for last night's game because, I was literally watching from 4:00 and games come on at 4:00 all the time. I don't watch them because I'm at work, but I literally had my phone on my computer and I was watching Ja Morant do his thing. And that's the kind of thing that you're going to get. You're going to get people that don't normally tune in for these early games because they know, if I don't watch this, I'm not going to know what happened because it's not like they're going to play against, you know what I mean? It's like these high stake games. So I think for the NBA, it makes sense. I haven't really gauged how fans feel about it yet. If I had to gauge from what I saw at the bar last night, we're still in the middle of a pandemic and there was nobody at the bar when we got there. We got there at the end of the Grizzlies game and there was nobody there. By the time that the Lakers game started, they had to wheel in more TVs because, we were sitting outside. They had to wheel in more TVs because it was that packed. So obviously that shows how important this game was to a lot of fans. So I think for the NBA, it makes sense. Anything that gets more eyes on your organization, I think is a good thing. And yes, I see you in the chat. Ja Morant was playing. He did a great job last night. So it was just a great day of basketball in the middle of the week that everybody watched. So yeah, I think it makes sense.
I think it makes sense too. And, I never felt super strongly one way or the other when I heard they were introducing the play-in tournament again this season. It obviously made a lot of sense and I supported it last season. But this time around, I was kind of like, okay, well, let's just see what happens here. But I think, at least among, me and my friends, and seeing how excited everybody was about it, I think that it definitely does seem like something that the fans are enjoying. But Jackie, do you think it's possible fans are really kind of loving it because we are seeing two teams like the Lakers and the Warriors with these two superstar players in the bottom of the standings as opposed to the top like we normally would expect them to be? Is that maybe why there's been such a big draw?
Of course. I mean, Steph said it best in one of his post-game interviews. They asked him, do you think people want to see you and the Lakers battle it out? The question was stupid. Of course we want to see. The only other play-in tournament we would have playing game we would have really liked to see is the Lakers and the Clippers. That would have gotten just as much hype as the Warriors and the Lakers. But when you have these kinds of teams, it's great. And that brings me back to the point I just said. When we got to the bar at the end of the Memphis Grizzlies game, there wasn't that many people there. And it came on at 4:00. The game that comes on at 4:00, you got to know, is not going to have the viewership that the later game has. The later game happens so people can get off work and they have time to see it. That's why that game is later. So, but I think it's always going to be like that, especially when you're talking about the Western Conference. There's dope teams in the Western Conference. The Western Conference is just that type of team. And I think that in the Western Conference, it's always going to be, a game that you like to see. But then I have to wonder if it was like the Suns and the Trailblazers, would it have received that hype? Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not.
That's what I'm thinking. And then another question for you. So, like I mentioned before we dove deeper into this subject, LeBron was one of the people who was openly critical about the play-in tournament. Do you think that the athletes who originally were opposed to it are now warming up to the idea of it becoming a standard part of the NBA postseason?
I think the people in the 7 and 8 spot think it's a dumb idea because in their head, they're like, we would have been in. What are we doing? But the people at the 9 and 10 are like, okay, we have another shot. So it just literally depends on where you fall. If you're at the 7 and 8 spot, you don't like it because for you, it's extra work that you've already proven. You've already proven that you should be at the 7 and 8 spot because you are at the 7 and 8 spot. But if you're at that 9 and 10, like I said, it's really important for those 9 and 10 teams because it gives them a chance that they wouldn't normally have. And if they beat the 7 and 8, then it's one of those things that you have to give those teams their respect. But I think any team that hits the 7 and 8 spot, they are always going to be annoyed by the fact if they do keep this, they're going to be annoyed that they have to prove they belong at that 7 and 8 spot when they're already at the 7 and 8 spot. That's always going to be an annoyance for those teams. It's the 9 and 10 spot that are always going to be like, this is great. So it just depends on where you fall.
And then one final question before we get into the post-up. We have the Warriors and the Grizzlies playing on Friday night. And I think Steve Kerr said it best when he said both teams right now are feeling this level of desperation to win. So I think that that's going to be also another high-stakes game, one that will likely be very exciting to watch, especially because Steph is so great, Ja is so great. What is your prediction for that? Who's walking away with the win? I think I know what you're going to say because you've kind of already said it, but just let's go over it one more time.
So I have been saying that the Warriors lose against us and then they win against Memphis, and I'm going to stick to that. And it sucks because I really like Ja Morant. I really want him to win this game. So if he does win, I'm not mad about that because I want him to be. I want him to have that limelight. I want him to have that success. I want him to have that moment where he can say, this is my moment. I got my team over this hump. I want him to have that. But I think now, even the look that Steph, we're going to get it, and we're going to show you some of that in the post-up, the look that he gave LeBron where it was that half smile, like, okay. that level, now we've got an intense Steph. And so I think Steph and Dame are very similar in that aspect. When you count them out, that's when you got to be worried because now they're going to count on themselves. So I think that, as much as I would love Ja to pull this one out, I don't see it happening. And I see Steph really stepping up in this game and getting that number 8 spot. But I'm not going to be mad if I'm wrong. I'm not going to be mad at all.
I couldn't be mad either. I really don't think I could. But yeah, I do think that Steph is on another level. But another thing that I just want to address. So obviously the defense on Steph last night was impeccable. It was great. And I think that played a huge factor in the Lakers winning. But a lot of people say if the Jazz are facing the Warriors in the first round, they won't be able to do what the Lakers did. So could that be an upset? And what are your general thoughts about that potential matchup happening?
Oh, no. Y'all know I got faith in Rudy Gobert now.
That's true. What was I thinking?
Wait a minute now. Y'all know. Y'all already know. No. Utah will be fine. I don't like Utah, the state, but Utah Jazz, I'm with it. That's going to be, I think that series goes 7 games personally, but I'm going to lean towards Utah on this one. I am. I'm going to lean towards Utah. Again, it's going to be one of those situations where I'm not mad if the Warriors win, but I'm leaning towards Utah.
So you think that Rudy Gobert can guard Steph like AD and Alex Caruso?
Yes. That man he's the defensive player of the year like twice in a row. Y'all stop sleeping on Rudy Gobert. What is happening?
You know what? I think Rudy Gobert needs to pay you a salary for what you do for him. Jeez, this is outrageous. Okay, if I'm going the opposite way. If it is Warriors versus Jazz in the first round, I'm going Warriors. I don't know. I don't see it happening, but whatever. We've got your prediction right there. We've got your faith in Rudy Gobert.
I'm not gonna be mad if the Warriors win. Like it's not like I have a dog in that race, but I love me some Rudy. So that I'm gonna be cheering. As far as who I'm gonna be cheering for, it's gonna be Rudy and the Jazz. Now, if Steph wins, I'll be like, good game. Congratulations, you won. Good.
All right. Well, then I'm putting my prediction out there right now as the opposite. So we'll see what happens. And someone needs to remember. I always end up forgetting who I say, like, who is going to win or whatever. So someone needs to remind me. I'm going Warriors on this one.
That will not forget. They will not forget, especially not today. They so in their feelings right now. Their feelings is registering everything. They not going to forget. I haven't even been looking at the chat very much today, but I will probably in the post-up catch up on what people are saying. But I feel like it's funny how angry two girls talking about sports can make people. So, you know what? You guys, you enjoy your feelings. I hope it's a good place in there. And on that note, let's get into the post-up. Yes, let's go into the post-up and let's see how mad we can make Jeremiah in the post-up. So, because he is all in his feelings today, and I'm clearly here for it. So, let's go to this one because I gotta say these games last night were fantastic. I had such a great time watching both games. Both games were high intensity. The Warriors played well. I don't want to make it seem like the Warriors did not play well. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I was worried. At the half, I wasn't so worried that I left because obviously we got King James, so we never out of it. But that dagger that that my boy made, for those of y'all who did not see it, I am here for you. Let's watch it again.
Look on opponent's faces after he knocks down threes. The same look as LeBron James with a clutch shot. They're still talking about.
You're welcome. Just in case you missed it, there's your boy doing his thing, doing king stuff. And of course, I agree with this user though, because this was the perfect thing. LeBron hitting the game winner in Steph's face is exactly how this game needed to end. That's exactly right. With all the hype that was around it, with Jeremiah being mad all the time, this was the perfect way to end that game. This was great television, period. Regardless of how you fall on it, this was great television. It was a great game. And then, of course, Steph's face says it all. I loved his face. Look at his face. It's like, damn it, man. It's like the little brother when you beat him. It's like, man, you could let me win. This is stupid. I love his face because it kind of says it all. I think it says it all. It's that moment in time where it's like, okay, I see you. I do think it's an amount of respect, though. I don't think it's like, haterism. I think y'all are mad in the chat and y'all feel some type of way. But as far as these grown men who both are extremely talented, I think they both appreciate each other. But that's definitely the look like, okay. This is what we doing. I'm going to get you next time. And I love it. I love that kind of competitiveness. That's a beautiful thing. So congratulations to my Lakers and LeBron James for being clutch just wanted to throw that out there. Okay. Now here we go. Here's story time, you guys, because with that same thing, you know, they had an exchange, the two of them, and let's do. I'm gonna tell you what I think was said. So look, man, I thought we had an agreement that you was gonna lose, so I could have my moment in time. You said I was supposed to be MVP. You coming out here beating me? Why, bro? It's like I can't let you win. We in my house. That's what I think was said. But I still love this. This is a you, my boy, I love you, and I love you back hug. I still love this. But of course, Twitter had some ideas as to what was said on this as well. LeBron, you gonna live in Brentwood or Beverly Hills when you come to the Lakers? Steph, Ladera Heights. First of all, if Steph comes to the Lakers and lives, I love Ladera Heights.
He's not going to live there, though, Jackie. We both know he's not going to. Ladera Heights is cute. Great place to buy a starter home. Steph is not going to be living there.
He's not. But if he did, he would be accessible. I'd be like, hey, Steph, can you call LeBron for me? I'll stop coming to your house if you call him for me.
It's so funny.
So accessible. It's not gated. It's not gated at all. So
not gated. It's closer to the practice facility. He'd be able to be punctual, on time.
Mm-hmm. He would be like passing Kawhi. Kawhi would be like 3 hours late, and he'd be like, "I'm leaving practice. You just now going to yours. What are you doing?" So yeah, it would be great. But I would be. It is not gated, you guys, and I would be at his house. If you call LeBron, I will leave, sir. Just call him for me. But you're right. I would love it if he did live there. But I think I have one more picture, two more. So here's the look that the two of them had. And then a user says that this is what he really thinks happened. And he's going back in the closet. And which one said that? You B word, F you. Who's saying it? I'm assuming that Jordan is saying it and Larry Bird is smiling. So in this case, between Steph and LeBron, who would be saying F you? Who's saying it?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Steph is saying it to LeBron. For sure.
Like, F you, man. I would probably say that too, though. You out here telling everybody that I'm playing at MVP level, and then you're going to get the winning shot in my face? Mm-hmm. Rude.
I know. It's so funny.
I love every piece of that. All right. That one was great because that's how the game was supposed to end. Both teams played very, very well. It was a great time. Now, earlier in the week, we talked about James Harden and the Nets and their smoothies. And we tried to figure out where the smoothies were coming from. We still don't know. But Miss Andrews, one of my favorite reporters, she posted this to her Twitter. I guess, obviously, it wasn't just us talking about it. So she says, today's lighthearted moment. James weighed in on this viral image. He says, I love smoothies. Those shakes are elite, man. You got your small ones. You got your big ones. I had to go big for a game. Like, he's just being corny, and I love it. But my favorite thing about this tweet is you got to be shameless when you're promoting your business, right? I'm all for people doing shameless plugs because if it's your business, you got to plug it. And some company, Smoothie King, took this moment to plug their smoothies. He says, hey, James Harden, if you're looking for a good smoothie, you know where to come. The dope thing about this is so many people co-signed on these smoothies. I've never even heard of Smoothie King, but so many people co-signed. This person says, can confirm the smoothies are elite and Smoothie King chats bad. We can also confirm that. There's about 10 other tweets that said the same thing. And then one tweet was like, where is it? I want to go. I love this. I love James Harden giving this person a moment to plug their business because, you know, it's their own business. And, you know, owning your own business is rough. So, yes, I love that. Shameless plug. Good job. But let's stay with this Steph Curry action because that's the tune of the day, right? I got LeBron represented, so we can have some Steph moments too. But watch this clip and watch Jamal Murray in this clip because this is hilarious. Take a look. Okay, now watch Steph. Now Jamal's supposed to be guarding him, so he's just following him around. He's just moving too much. Where is he going? Jamal looks so annoyed. Like, stay. Where are you going, sir? Where are you going?
I know. I love Jamal's reaction, especially that last one. The last move that Steph makes Jamal's like,
Like, we'll wait. You tell us where you're going. We'll wait for you, sir. And then a Twitter user responded to it because Steph does this all the time. He says, one of my favorite Steph moments, he must annoy the F out of defenders. He never stops moving, not even here. And it's true. After this clip, it's one of those things that I didn't really notice, but after this guy posted it, a bunch of people posted stuff, and Steph is like, I don't know, an anxious kid or something. He's just always like moving. Always. He never stops moving. But Jamal Murray saw this and he chimed in with a laugh like, yep, that's right. That's right. I love this. It is annoying. For those of you who play basketball, you know you got your man. So obviously for Jamal, Steph is his man. So I would have grabbed him and be like, where are you going? Just tell me. I will wait. Just tell me where you're going to end up. I'm not doing all this walking with you.
I know, it is so funny with Steph because he is this like such a confident player when you watch him on the court, but then there are moments where he has this kind of like nervous, almost childlike energy, like a little bit twitchy. He's kind of on the move a lot, little all over the place, and I like how there's that kind of dichotomy with his personality, you know what I mean? Because he gets on the court and he's like insane, but then before they really start like actually going at it, he's like all over the place. Yeah.
And then Jamal is like that.
Yeah.
He's falling behind him like, this is what I'm gonna do. Let's switch. I don't want to guard him anymore. Switch.
Yeah.
Moving around too much. I love that. Jamal Murray's reaction was great too. And that did remind me, though, I feel bad for him for not being able to be, in this whole playoff situation because he wants to be. So sorry for him, but, get well soon and all that because we definitely love you, Jamal. But shout out to Denver because they're doing what we say teams should do. It's always next man up, right? So congratulations to Denver, but love you loving this moment, Jamal. This is great. So let's go on to this next one because we're going to spend some time on this one because I had no idea. So yesterday I kind of made, fun of this. I thought it was funny, with Kwame Brown being just kind of a tool. I thought it was funny, like, haha. But our producer after the show let me know that Kwame has also, he's been going on these rants where he looks like he's in crisis personally. I think he's in some sort of mental crisis. I could be wrong, but that's just how it looks. So our producer after the show let us know that he said, and Devin, I want to, because I know you know this as well, because we talked about it. So before I get into this whole thing, he said that Breonna Taylor, you guys know Breonna Taylor, it's when police broke into her house, unidentified, at the wrong house, and shot and killed her. Kwame said that wouldn't have happened to her had she not been dating a thug. So, Devin, I want to get your thought, because now it's not funny to me. Now I don't have no love for him. Y'all shade away. He is something's wrong with him, and I don't like him. But what are your thoughts when you found out he said that?
I mean, reading that yesterday when we saw that in our Slack channel, I mean, I think that's a horrifying thing to say. Because first of all, they were at the wrong house. And second of all, you can't blame an innocent person's death on the people that she was in a relationship with, especially when the blame needs to be placed 100% on the police who did that. So this, I just think, I mean, it just makes me want to shut down everything that he says. I don't want to give it any life anymore because that's just a horrific thing to say. And I can't get behind that at all. And
yeah,
he loses all credibility too. Not that there was a lot of credibility to begin with because he's just on there kind of like ranting and raving, but people will listen because it's this kind of like, spectacle to be seen. But I'm just not even interested,
Mm-hmm. So I see, I can never say whatever, you know who I'm talking to, says, well, what did Kwame say? So there was this whole thing we did yesterday. You can go back and watch it about, him just going on this rant because people were basically clowning him. And how this happened is he went on, or it was the All the Smoke podcast. They were talking about him because he was actually the first NBA player to be drafted first overall out of high school. And they were talking about, his career was a bust. And if you go back far enough on the Fumble channel, you'll see, I think it was 2 years ago, we did a NBA biggest bust. And guess who was number one on that list? Kwame Brown. So he still feels some type of way that people are calling him out on that. And then he felt some type of way about the Stephen A 2008 rant going viral. And so he went on these rants on his, he did both of them on Instagram. And when I tell you, I really do think he's in some sort of mental crisis. But Matt Barnes was like, let me address this. And I think the way that Matt Barnes addressed this is so dope. So take a look.
Kwame Brown, Brother Brown. You've been ranting for about 5 days now. Your cry for help, your need for attention has worked. I heard your Instagram following has grown over 30,000 the last handful of days since you had my name in your mouth. Don't be fooled by this new attention, bro. All these people that are gassing you and putting a battery in your back, all the platforms that are picking you up, didn't give a fuck about you last week, bro. They don't love you. They just love the drama and the old jokes you're saying. They don't love you. They don't love me. They don't know no one. They love a drama. That's it. But come on, all the smoke. Come talk your shit face to face. You got a story to tell, obviously. You're hurt. I mean, like I said, you can play it off with humor, but you're hurt. And I get it. I mean, but come on the show. Talk that shit. Tell your story face to face. There's no bigger, better platform than ours. You can say what you want. We're an award-winning platform. We don't tear down black men because you're the butt of the joke. Now that's what you're on. You think we're tearing down black men, but if you actually watch the show, we empower everybody. That's what our thing is. So come on the show, man. We'll be in Atlanta next month. Come to you. If me and you got a box before, during, or after, then shake hands to get this shit done. You know I'm always with the shit. But come tell your story, man. Get that shit up off your chest. And you attacking Stephen A. Smith. He's almost 60 years old. He don't want to fight you. But I ain't got no issues. Like I said, I'm with the shit. So you could bring your hookah. You could bring that front seat of your car that you're always in, ranting about. Make yourself feel comfortable. Whatever you need to feel comfortable. But come on all the smoke and tell your story, my nigga. We'll be in Atlanta next month. Let me know what's up.
Man, see, and I hadn't planned to play the whole clip. I'm so glad that Leo played the whole clip because that's what it is, right? You talking all this stuff. You know that we would let you on our platform. You could have been reached out. You could have been said, "Hey, I don't like what you're saying about me," and you clearly only watched the episode that had you as the butt of the joke because Matt Barnes is absolutely right. If you guys do not listen to that podcast, first of all, it's a dope podcast. They speak very, very real. They're very, very frank. If y'all got a problem with language, as you can see from that not so bad clip, then maybe it's not for you. But they do definitely empower black men and women to say that as well. And they try to lift people up. They don't. But if you trash, you just trash. So that we can't overlook the fact that you, sir, were trash in the league. And I see somebody in the chat say, "Why he bullying him?" What? you not one out here running your mouth, and now I'm gonna check you on it. And like he said, he's Matt Barnes. You remember when Matt Barnes drove from one side of town to the other because Derek Fisher was dating his ex or something like that. He is definitely if y'all want to throw hands, Matt Barnes is that guy. But Steven Jackson chimed in as well and let him know, you couldn't play basketball and you just need to deal with that, which is hilarious. Check this one out as well.
Everybody in the world has joked on your basketball skills, bro. But these are your skills. Everybody been joking about that. One thing you can't joke about with me is my basketball skills. You haven't said nothing about that, right? So you are in control of your own basketball skills. So be mad at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I was the second to last pick. You was the first pick. Who had a better career? So don't make it personal, bro. Every people joke about some things in my career. I don't take it personal, but they can't say I was sorry.
I mean, what else can you say after that? I mean, your career was terrible. You probably one of the reasons why they said, maybe we shouldn't let people come right out of high school because this is horrible. You're one of the biggest busts in NBA history. Own that. And it sucks, I'm sure, but you just got to own that. But what do you think about what Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson had to say about this, Devin?
Well, I mean, I think that Matt Barnes handled it really well. I think that it was kind of funny. It was tongue in cheek, but he also was like, if you have something to say, come say it on this platform. But after that comment that he made about Breonna Taylor, like, I don't even want Matt Barnes to give him that platform. Like, would you want that? Would you want to see him on All the Smoke?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You would?
Absolutely. Because they're going to drag the hell out of him. You know what I mean? Because they're going to call him out on all his BS, including that comment about Breonna Taylor. And they're going to call him out. They're going to say, hey, you out here talking about we're tearing down black men, but you just called somebody who wasn't even at that house, number one, a thug. You don't even know her boyfriend or what he's gone through or what he's trying to, you don't know his life. You know nothing about him, but you a black man calling another black man a thug, number one. Number two, you're saying that a black woman deserved to die. And then now you're going to get on social media and sissy cry talking about they're tearing down black men. Oh yeah, no, we need to talk about this. And we're going to call you out in public. And then we're going to call you out in public. And then we're going to make that clip go viral about how stupid you look. That's what we're going to do. So yeah, but he's not man enough to do that. I can tell you right now, he's not, because a guy like this who says these kinds of things is not man enough to actually go face two grown men who are about that life, like Matt Barnes says. He's not man enough to do that. It's never going to happen. But if he did do it, I would watch it. Because they're going to drag him to hell and back. And he deserves every piece of that dragging.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the dragging would be funny to see. I'm just the type of person, like, once you say something as horrendous as that, I would like to just watch you slip into oblivion without another, no one else paying any attention, no more eyes on you. I know that doesn't happen that often in the social media age when we can continue to recirculate these, like, different rants that he's been on and people's reactions to it. But for me, I'm just like, with this kind of person, just go away. Like, let's just go live your little life in a hut, in the middle of a forest. Get off social media. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm done.
Right. And Matt Barnes did say that he had 30,000 more followers now because of this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
But still, I would be for the dragging, because I can tell you right now, he's going to be sitting on that couch. He's going to start feeling himself, and he's going to get up and try to get physical, and Matt Barnes going to knock his ass out. And I'm going to be here for that. I'm going to be here for all of that. So maybe that just says more about me. And
but Jackie, this is like the standard difference between the two of us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is exactly the kind of reaction that you would expect from you and from me. Like, I'm just the type of person that's like, ignore, goodbye, let's never address it again. You're like, no, drag him. Let's let me
take my earrings out. Say that. Let me that's who I am. That's so you're right. You're right. Dude, let me get my earrings out. Let's have this conversation again. You're right. But I'll be with it. I would be with it. All right, let's go on to the next one. But if that happens, I'm gonna be all for it. Now, let me just say this next one. I want to reiterate again that I love what the Utah Jazz are doing. Still got no love for Utah, but I love what the Utah Jazz are doing, and the fact that they're doing these scholarships for these kids to go to school, and they're intentionally targeting youth that are underrepresented. It's a beautiful thing. So check this out. And we're going to let it play until we see Rudy Gobert.
Well,
kidding me, bro.
I'm glad you are excited, because you should be. You deserve it.
For each win this season, the Utah Jazz are providing a full scholarship to a student from an underrepresented group. That's 4 years of tuition, room and board, books, fees, everything. And after selecting the first 30 scholarship recipients, we had a few special guests help us share that life-changing news.
I had to call and let you know, man, that you got the scholarship, you got the Utah Jazz scholarship, and I wanted to be the first to congratulate you, man.
And I wanted to congratulate you on being selected for the Utah Jazz scholarship.
You're joking.
Not at all, man. I just want to say congratulations. You've been chosen to receive the Utah Jazz scholarship.
It's all yours. Congratulations. Yeah, no cap.
You're lying.
No, I promise you, I would never lie to you.
You've been selected for the scholarship, so.
No, you're joking.
You're lying.
Rudy Gobert. I love it. I love every piece of that. That's a beautiful thing. I wish more teams would do that. I mean, even if I don't know how many kids they did, but it was quite a few. But just impacting youth's lives like that. And every team in the NBA could afford to do that. Let's just be real. It doesn't have to be, everybody doesn't have to do the same number, but they all could afford to do that. I think this is a beautiful thing Devin, I know you probably think it's beautiful as well. Do you think that more teams should do this?
Yeah, or doing something similar where they're just giving back and, helping to uplift people who are not as fortunate as they are. I love this so much. I think that this is a really beautiful thing to do. And really nice to watch that.
Yeah. I want to shout out Kobe Fan Empire. Thank you for the $4.99. I always why is it always 99 cents? Anyway, he says Lakers back-to-back championship, baby. I'm not going to jinx myself, but thank you. And I love what you're saying. I love everything you got going on right there. So I appreciate you. Beautiful thing. All right, now let's go on to this next one, because look, this one, I probably watched this video about 10 times, and I was doing the math on it to see how much this is. And I think the last tweet that I'm going to show you is right. But when y'all look at these plates that Derrick Henry's out here squatting, so it's 6 plates on each side, right? So to me, they look like 45s. So that'd be 12 plates, right? Because there's 6 on each side. So, and the bar is 45. So that would be, that's like 585 pounds. That's insane. Y'all just and the bar is bending. This should be a rule. If the bar is bending, it's too heavy.
Oh, I don't like that.
Do you see the bar bending?
It's bending.
And look how deep his squats are. And he's not even that big. And how much is that?
I don't even know.
And he's not even like sweating. He's just glistening. He's not like, I would be sweating out my soul if I was trying that. Like, I would fade away. That just looks so unnecessarily heavy.
But you pointed out something really important here, Jackie, because he's not giant. So what is he eating that helps him stay not necessarily just lean, because he's not like a skinny guy. He's got a great body, I just have to say. But
I know.
Yeah. But it's not that big, bulky bodybuilder type. So how does he do it when he is squatting so heavy and lifting so heavy? That's absolutely wild to me. And yes, the bar looked like it was made of rubber. Like it looked like it was flexible, which is that, it's too heavy when it's looking like that.
Like if the bar could talk, it'd be like, yo, this ain't right. Stop. Yeah. This is not right. Mar in the chat said, and he don't look like he's struggling. That's the part that got me, because he's doing with that what looked like 500 and some. He's squatting like I would squat with the bar, just the bar, like no weights. Yeah. Like he's like, oh, 1 and a 2. Like he's just chilling. I don't understand this. This troubled me. I tell you, I watched this video like 10 times.
Pretty impressive.
And how much is that? How much is that? Because that bar is heavier than the regular bar. This is insane. This is like Hulk smash kind of thing to me. So I don't know. But I was not the only one, because I went to the chat and I was like, this is too heavy. I said it's like 585 pounds. And then they corrected me. But the word on the street is we don't know how much it was. But this person says, not trying to hate, but those aren't 45-pound plates. Those are CrossFit plates, which I've never done CrossFit, so I cannot confirm nor deny this. Those are CrossFit plates, look like 45 pounds, but could be as little as 10 pounds, regardless. He's diesel. Ain't no way in hell that was 10 pounds, because 10 pounds on either side, that don't bend the bar. You wrong, sir. You are wrong. Mm. And then somebody else had another thought, which I'm going to throw that up. And he says, okay, it's 345s and 325s on each side. Those small ones interlock. 10 pounds bumper plates don't interlock. He's got 300. Well, first of all, if it's 345s and 325s, I think your math is wrong. I think that's like 465. So it's definitely more than 330, right?
I'm bad at math. I don't know. Should I get out my calculator?
I'm pretty sure it's like over 400 pounds, because it's 6 on each side. There was definitely 6 plates on each side. His math is a little off. I think he's only accounting for one side. But I finally settled on this one. FL9 in the chat said, I can't do one push-up. Don't feel bad. I can do a couple push-ups, but not a lot. And this one says it's 485. Each side has 345s, 225s, and a 35, about 2 times body weight box squats. This was probably part of this guy's warm-up superset or with something. No way NFL trainers have athletes going about at 7 reps at this point in the year. I don't know. It was a lot. Derrick, we love you. This was beautiful. So let me get on to this next one right now, because that one was crazy to me. So I don't understand why you do this, but this is hilarious. This is hilarious. So let me show you. This says Dave Martinez just picked up first base and threw it. So when I saw this tweet, I was like, how would he do that? I'm gonna show you how he does that. Take a look.
There we go.
Yes. Go ahead, Davey.
You do a little lapel on us. Don't break your toe.
Holy cow. This has to be some World Series carryover, right?
That is a lot of effort just to show you're mad. He struggled to get that damn base out the dirt. Like, wait till I show you how mad I'm mad. Like, that is ridiculous.
Oh, God.
But okay, I mean, now we know you're mad. Jeremiah, this is what you should do. You should go to the baseball field and pull out first base, smash it to show how mad you are. So there you go. We helped you today. So that's all we got for the post up. Let's move on to what we're not going to do. This one is, I think we knew this was all coming because we talked about this. We've talked about this several times on the show about how the Atlanta Falcons for the last 2 years did not include Julio Jones in their picture. So obviously we felt like something was up or something was at least coming. And now we can confirm that basically because according to Jeff Schultz of The Athletic, the Falcons are looking to trade him. So there's a lot to unpack there because I know we all probably think that that's not a good idea because if they trade him, then they're left with Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage. But Calvin has become Matt's favorite target. So obviously maybe there's something at play in there where because Julio unfortunately has gone through a lot of injuries. He's been hurt a lot. So Matt has had to figure out how to build a relationship with these other two receivers, and Calvin happens to be his favorite. So that's the downside. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Staying healthy is a skill set that is vital to your career because if you're not in there, it's always next man up. And if that relationship kind of develops between Matt Ryan and another receiver, it doesn't really matter how dope you are. It's going to become an issue. And we know that he's dope. He's been in the NFL for 10 seasons. He's been to the Pro Bowl 7 times, 2 times first team All-Pro. He's got a Pro Football Hall of Fame All-Decade team in 2010. 6 seasons he's been consistent, but he's been hurt for 6 out of 10 seasons. He's had to spend time off the field for 6 out of 10 seasons. That's a lot. And that gave Calvin Ridley the time to emerge because last season he had 90 receptions for over 1,300 yards and like 9 touchdowns or something like that. So him being hurt gave Matt Ryan an opportunity to move on, unfortunately. And as much as I love Julio and as much as I think this is a bad thing, I actually kind of have to fall on the side of the Atlanta Falcons for trading him because it comes down to what you can do against the salary cap. And Julio's contract is kind of hurting them right now because his contract is through 2023 and it's set to count at $23.5 million against their cap. Right now, they only have in cap space $588,000 in cap space. That's not that you can get somebody on the practice squad for that amount of money, but you can't do anything to really benefit your team. So as much as it sucks, it's a business, guys. It's not personal. I do think that it's still disrespectful. Okay, yeah, if you knew you were going to do that, it makes sense to not have him on the picture this year. Why wasn't he on the picture last year? Have you been thinking about trading him for the last 2 years? I do think that it's probably a conversation that they've had with Julio because I haven't seen him anywhere on social media say anything, or maybe he's just smart enough and he's going to wait till he's traded and then we're going to see the influx of the Falcons are trash, they did me wrong or whatever. But it makes sense. It's a business, guys, and they don't have any cap space. They really don't have a choice in this situation. They have a guy who struggles being healthy, and they only got $588,000 in cap space. So I'm sorry, Julio, but you have to go. I don't know where he's going to end up. I know they talked about him possibly going to San Francisco. That would be great, but we'll see. But what we're not going to do is bash. We're not going to bash the Atlanta Falcons for not having any money. They don't have any money is what's happening. So they got to move on. It is what it is. I'm sorry, Julio, but it is what it is. It is a lot of cash to you and I, Joshua. Joshua says, she said only. That's still a hell of cash to you and I. But when you're a franchise that's trying to build a team and you only have 588,000, you can't do anything with that. You can't get any assets for your team. You can't bring in any playmakers for that amount of money. So you have to get rid of $23.5 million so you can build your team. It's a business. So sorry, Julio, it sucks, but the Falcons are doing the right thing. So that's all I got for what we not going to do.
You know what, Jackie, we have talked about this so many times when, we see a single athlete demand a really giant contract like, who was it? Dak Prescott got that major one with the Cowboys. They're not able to supply him with the weapons that he would need to really have a good, run with the team. So sometimes you got to make these big changes. Sometimes you have to let go of a star player in order to be able to build a roster that's going to get you somewhere. So it does suck. I still think the last season leaving him off of the graphic was shady. Like that shouldn't have happened, especially, but this time around, I guess it makes a little bit of sense if they don't really have the money to bring in anybody else that they need. So it's unfortunate, but if a team doesn't have money, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I saw somebody in the chat that says Atlanta needs a new quarterback. Okay, I'm not going to argue that, but how are they going to do that with $588,000? You know what I mean? Like you have to move some money. It just is what it is. This is what you do when you have a lot of money in your savings and your checking account starts getting low. You got to move some money. So this is exactly what's happening right now, and it's unfortunate, like you said, but it has to happen.
Yeah, it does have to happen. All right, you guys. Well, we are at the end of the show here, ending a couple minutes early. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. You have plenty of time to do that because we usually go till 10 a.m. and it's only 9:56. So 4 minutes to subscribe. Tap the bell. Leave a comment below. Share this video with your friends. If you have not checked out Challenge Accepted yet, that came out yesterday. So make sure you tune into that. Great show. And then also, just as a little update, I'm not sure when my new show is coming out, but it will be somewhat soon. Hopefully in the next month. We'll figure it out, but keep an eye out for that. You guys may like that one.
We both forgot to say at the top of the show, my bad, but I saw y'all in the chat. I think we still got enough. Fan or Foe is tomorrow. My days are all messed up. So you guys have some time to just go ahead in the chat. Some of y'all got some really hater comments, so I'm sure we're going to have you tomorrow. But don't forget to put some comments in the chat right now so we can have you on Fan or Foe for tomorrow.
Hell yeah. Thanks for remembering, Jackie. Fan or Foe tomorrow at the end of the show. All right, you guys, have a great Thursday, and we'll see you guys at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bye.